Okay, so this morning, let me take a look at my inventory here. I want to focus mostly on crystal mining today, because I want to keep going with as much of the silver and gold jewelry as I can. Keep going with as many of the gemstone steel swords as I can, because it looks like, I mean, obviously these three are the three best. This one really seems like a big one. As a matter of fact, I think I may want to go check out my... Let me go look at my town setup here. Hop over to my town hall here and... Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. You don't have to bow. I am simply your mayor. All right. So, currently, yeah, we have like 20 free citizens right now. We've maxed out everything on here. We're making 4,000 a minute, which is... Seems like a lot, but... Is it really as much as you would think? But the 32... Okay, so yeah, so we're making decent money here. As well as making plenty of good stone and wood and such. Since, let's see, so 500 and 500, 200, 20, 10, and 50. I wish you could add some more citizens, but unfortunately that is not a thing. I wonder if the update will allow that to you know, grow and expand, because I would love to be able to have like workers, you know, out at the farm gathering food for me so that I don't have to do that. Oh, you know, I only just noticed this. Look at that tree out there that's on top of the mountain with the rainbow. That is a big damn tree. I mean, compare that to, like, the size of the mountain. It's pretty, too. Do we have any other, like, cool little things that I just haven't noticed in the backdrop here? Whoa. I don't think so. That's cool. So, anyway... as I mentioned, let's hop our way over to the mines. And I think we're going to start this morning with some crystal mining. Because I want to keep focusing, as I mentioned, on the gemstone stuff. Oop, make my way in the world today. Doing great, fellas. Keep working hard. I'm proud of each and every one of you. You are fine citizens of Lion's Den. Looking forward to the My Time at Sandrock update at the end of the month. So am I. That looks to be like a pretty good one. We're gonna be they'll be adding in some more dating options and some more affection options, which is always very cool for My Time at Sandrock. I kind of look forward to those because they really kind of add a level of depth to the My Time series that you don't typically get from other games. You know, most of the, I mean, obviously this is, you know, My Time at Portia, My Time at Sandrock aren't dating sims, but it's kind of impressive when, you know, the amount of relationship that you can do in the game almost rivals those. Obviously it's not near, because those dating sims are like very, very in depth. They're all about, you know, finding out about individuals in depth and eventually getting to the point where actually I think most of those dating sims are more they're more about sex than like actually getting to the point of marriage or anything. But Um, oh, hello. There we go. Oh, is this the bugged one? Yeah, this is the bugged one. There we go. More skill points opening too. Thank goodness. I have had all these skill points in Sandrock, and they're just sitting there useless. I've had more than a few comments say, "You've got a lot of skill points. You gotta use your skill points." I'm like, there's nothing to use them on. I want to, believe me. Yeah, pre-built housing, pets, yeah. It'll be nice to be able to have a dog and a cat around the old workshop. Ooh. But today's gonna be a nice, comfortable day of relaxing in the mines, embracing the zen of happy mining. Yeah, exactly, Care4. I'm with you. It's like you look down at those skill points over in the on your skill tree in Sandrock, and it's like, I've got 10 of these things to spend. For God's sake, give me something to spend them on. I wonder if I shouldn't spend some of my money on some of my skills here in Sandrock, or not Sandrock, in in Happy Mining. Here I am, not like, because now apparently there was an update, and I guess they did fix this. They're saying, so I guess we can go ahead and I'm gonna add this like 5 at a time, and test it, because if it turns out it's not properly fixed, I don't want to commit myself to something and then end up screwing it up. Do I want to improve my strength? Strength is good. What's the max? Yeah, there is no max to strength. Tell you what, let's pop us up to 80 here. That gets us to roughly about 1,000 per hit, give or take. And I was kind of looking at the Happy Mining forums, and apparently once upon a time those mushrooms could be farmed up. There was no point to them, but I guess at some point those mushrooms that you're looking at to the right of the crystal here, I guess could be farmed. Which kind of makes me think that maybe at some point those will have some sort of utility. I'm not sure what that utility would be. Oh, and also apparently dragon scales are not yet in the game, because I asked about that too, because I was, yeah, see these here? It's like you can hit the rock, but you can't hit the mushroom. But what was I saying? There's supposed to be an update here pretty soon, where they're going to add in the castle, and I guess a few other like more additions to the town, some other stuff like that. I'm really looking forward to that. because I don't know. I really enjoy this game. It's a great little comfortable Zen experience where you really don't have to think a lot, and you can just sort of just relax and ease your way into the game at whatever pace you want. It's nice to have a genuinely chill mining and town building game. A lot of times, of course, you know, I like having that additional, you know, kind of time pressure and all that because, oh, uh-oh. You gonna work? There we go. Because, you know, you know, for the most part, games should give you some level of urgency, just so that you can engage your mind and your problem-solving skills and your, you know, just things like that to give to give the game a sense of urgency. But, you know, every once in a while, it's nice to just have a game that doesn't do that. Where, you know, it's just... And I realize I talk about this every time I play it. But it really is... It really is kind of one of the best things about the game, is that you really don't have to stress about anything in this game unless you just wanna. Because obviously there are ways to be able to maximize this kind of game, but honestly, the maximizing, you know, the efficiency in a game like this kind of is a little silly. Uh-oh. I was gonna say, it seems like I'm missing there, but I'm not. It's just, since I'm doing roughly about 1,000 points a shot, it just looks like it. Oh, no, that is definitely missing. All right, come on. Yeah, sometimes it's missing. They also are aware of the collision issues. They will be doing something about that as well. And I'm really looking forward to getting the next update on this game. I would love to see where this game goes. Excuse me. And I just noticed that I guess some previous damage I had on these crystals, I guess, continued on. It carried over to the, you know, I guess it saved the progress. So I guess I don't have to worry about necessarily losing progress on a crystal or a tree or whatever that I might be working on at the time. It looks like you can actually... oh, why am I facing that direction? I'm facing this direction, but I'm still hitting this crystal. There we go. Next. Oh, that one missed. Pink. Like it hit part of it, but didn't get all of it. So what's been going on with you guys lately? Anything interesting been going on in your lives? Are you all feeling like I am, and it's getting to winter, and so you're kind of going into your hibernation phase? I never realized that. I mean, I've never had that happen before, where I like hibernate in the winter. Although, I mean, I do know that, you know, the human body does go through seasonal cycles, and that our bodies do have a tendency to slow down in winter. It's a survival thing. Hence the holiday, you know, when they talk about gaining holiday pounds, it's less about like how much you eat and more about the fact that our body's metabolisms just slow down. Uh-oh. Okay, that's the glitched one. I just hope the pre-built housing in Sandrock is reasonably utilitarian and not ridiculous and overly decorated. Yeah. Chances are it'll be a lot like the housing that was in Portia. Not the same style, but that same kind of, I don't know, expansiveness. Oh, God, I'm sorry to hear that, Carefor. 56 yesterday, 81 today. My body is confused. Oh, that is true. I mean, I imagine in Canada, with the seasons being so much different than they are in the States, that you guys are just sort of used to a much different seasonal cycle. But I mean, it makes sense that humans go through seasonal cycles, just like, you know, most animals. You know, there's a survival survival instinct within each one of us that says, "Oh, the winter is coming. We must store up fat. Fat will insulate us from the cold, and it will be, you know, emergency food should we have difficulties acquiring it." And I mean, it's sort of an evolutionary holdover that, you know, the whole seasonal weight gain is a real thing. If it holds to the My Time formulation, you'll need larger housing for marriage and children. Yeah, that makes sense too. Have to get the new beds like we did in Portia. Have to go through all that happiness. So I'm thinking maybe a nice goal to set for the crystals before we head into town would be like, let's start with 25,000, and let's see what that nets us when we go and do all of our crafting. In fact, I mean, considering that even as we're mining, we are gaining more iron, more stone, more wood, and even more gold and silver and crystal. Oh, are we facing the right direction? There we go. Boredom eating, dark for longer periods, so eating is a thing. I suppose that's probably part of it. I don't know, though. It could be. I mean, I do know that some people will, you know, like, if they're bored, they eat. For me, I have kind of noticed that on occasion, that if I'm bored, I'll start looking in the refrigerator and I'll have to stop myself. Although for me, my issue has been more like that I have a tendency to stress eat rather than eat when I'm bored. But that is a real thing. People, people get bored and so they eat. I don't know though. I mean, this is holiday time, so I'm not sure if it would be boredom. I mean, during the holidays, people are usually very, very busy, and usually, like they usually it's more that we're kind of going, oh, we got to get gifts for for the family, and Thanksgiving dinner is coming up, and Halloween got to prepare for kids, and New Year's we got to prepare for New Year's, holiday parties, and so I mean. I don't know if it's boredom so much as maybe holiday stress. Of course, I guess it just sort of depends on the kind of person you are and what kind of activities you engage in during the holidays. It's an interesting thought. I don't even remember that you have to eat until your stomach's kind of yelling at you. I've had that issue too, where I'll get so busy with the channel here doing what I need to do that I'll kind of look up and go, oh, time has passed. Perhaps I should eat. So I've been there. I want to take a look at this. Yeah, we've maxed out our mining quantity entirely. I was kind of hoping maybe we might be able to improve the mining the mining quality and get more per hit. It doesn't seem like the mining speed has interfered. So let's go ahead and improve that by another 5. I wonder if it's like if I hold down the button, that's what they're talking about. Oh, maybe that's what they're talking about. It's a mining speed. Because as you can see, you kind of notice it. It's already starting to interrupt the. If you look at his mining action, it's already, he's not completing the full motion. He's actually slightly interrupting himself. Not hugely so, but a little bit. So if I gotta cook it all, damn it, I'm gonna eat it. Right? It's like, hey, I go through all this Thanksgiving and Christmas cooking. Damn it, somebody's gonna eat it. Don't have much of an appetite usually. If you're busy, it's easy to forget that you eat. Oh gosh. Yeah. I used to have that issue with... Why is that partially... Why was that partially damaged? Was I actually starting to clip some of that? Maybe the hits were clipping. Huh? I don't know. Wish you had that problem. Yeah, really. Like I need to eat less so my belly goes away. It doesn't help with weight as much as it might seem. Yeah. Weight loss really is more about exercise than it is like how much you eat. Obviously, how much you eat does play a factor for sure, but it really is more about exercise and trying to build up muscle, since muscle burns fat. So when you do eat, it might eat too much, and since you haven't eaten in a long time, the body absorbs a lot more. Combination of food and exercise. Started losing a lot more weight since I had to start doing physiotherapy. Yeah, the exercises that I've been doing at the with the VA have been with physical therapists, because I have bad. Oh, is this the bad one? Yeah. Oh, wait. Did I figure it out? Well, sort of. It's like sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. Come on, we can figure out the position, right? Nah, it's a pain in the butt. I don't want to deal with it. See, now look at this. Now for some... Oh! Wait a minute. So if I'm hitting here... Is it occasionally... Hold on. Are the misses carrying over to that? Come on, I was hitting it before. It is! When I miss with the one in front of me, it's hitting the one to the right. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Yeah, the hit boxes and the hit boxes and the collision definitely need work in this game. So what if I do this? Okay, so it still doesn't hit both of them. It's like it either hits one or the other. It's never both. That's so funny. Well, at least it's not wasted effort. But yeah, the exercise program that I've been doing with the VA has actually helped me a lot. It hasn't done much for my weight, but I still think, I think I've mentioned it before, I'm pretty sure it's not because, I think there is something wrong with my metabolism and something wrong with my body, to explain why I can't seem to lose weight, even though I eat very healthy, I don't eat very much, and I exercise and I build muscle and I do all the right things, and yet I don't seem to lose weight. There definitely has to be some sort of physiological issue. Medication side effects. The gabapentin that I was taking. Whoop! Oh, I'm out of. What I need. The gabapentin I was taking definitely contributed to that. I've since switched over to the amitriptyline, and since I've just started getting back into my exercise program, we'll have to see if maybe the change in medication has helped. I certainly hope so. Drink only water. Believe me, I've been through all the various weight loss diets and all that different stuff. I've gone to some pretty extreme lengths trying to lose the weight back when I was in the military, because obviously the military does not want a fat sergeant. They need their, they need their soldiers in good shape. And believe me, I did everything I could think of to lose the weight, but For whatever reason, it just didn't want to do it. Water is good, but it just tastes like mouth. Doing physio and nutritionist combination is helping. Had to lose weight too since it's adding pressure on my knee. Yeah, might start doing yoga again now that it. Yeah, see that's what's been going on with me too. Is that I have a VA nutritionist, I have a VA physical therapist, and they're doing everything that they can to help me lose this weight. So I'm really hoping that it will bear fruit. Because I don't know, when I was on the gabapentin, I wasn't losing any weight, and I'm hoping that it was just because of the gabapentin. The doctor did say that the amitriptyline can also make it difficult to lose weight. He said pretty much any medications that deal with pain, without it being narcotic, because I refuse to take narcotic pain relievers. That if they're non-narcotic, it weight gain is always an issue. And trying to lose weight can be difficult on any. Oh, come on, here we go. On anything, any sort of maintenance pain medication. So. But he said the amitriptyline should be easier, but I still have a hard road ahead of me. So it's like, well, I mean, I'll take what I can get, and hopefully this will be enough to be able to make a difference. Glad I'm off the other meds. All I did was replace the other meds. Yeah, so instead of the gabapentin, I'm taking the amitriptyline. So I don't know that if it were up to me, I wouldn't take any medications, but I kind of have to. I mean, I have lived life off of those medications, and I have lived life on the medications, and I would rather have the medications by a long shot. The neck flare-ups without any sort of like maintenance medication are bad. I mean, I was getting flare-ups 3 or 4 times a week, and at least on the maintenance medication, I'm only getting them the flare-ups maybe, once every 2 or 3 weeks. So it's a hell of a lot better quality of life. Cucumber and lemon on the water. Yep. My lovely cherub is kind of a really big on tea with lemon and like green tea with lemon and cucumber. She's been very supportive in helping me try to lose the weight. She like we've done all those different things to help with it. I don't know, maybe it just doesn't work for me. The only thing that's worked for me in the past was just hardcore weightlifting. And building the muscle, but that didn't work this time for some reason, because I did that. I tried to do the hardcore heavy lifting to build up muscle, but for whatever reason it didn't work this time. And I have no idea. I couldn't build muscle no matter what I did. I couldn't I wasn't gaining. I mean, the best I can sort of get is sort of find an equilibrium where I'm not gaining more weight. It's very frustrating. Yeah, the cucumber and lemon infused water. That's just nice. especially in the summertime. It's any sort of water that's been infused with fruit. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about by fruit infused water, basically you take some nice water, bottled water, or whatever you like to. If your area has tap water that is halfway decent, then use that. But Stockton is notorious for having hellishly bad water, and so we do not drink tap water. We only do bottled water here. So get some bottled water and basically just like make a pitcher, cut up cucumbers, cut up strawberries, cut up lemons, cut up just any fruit that you like, and you basically just cut it in slices. You put it into the water, and you just let it refrigerate together. And the juice from your fruit kind of seeps through the water, and you're essentially making a sort of tea, except that you're not using tea leaves. You're sort of having a fruit water. And it's delicious. It's good for you, and I recommend it. Okay, we're doing this again. All right, I'm gonna skip the busted one. Cucumber in a salad or a tzatziki, and lemon on chicken. Oh yeah. I am a huge fan of tzatziki sauce. I love tzatziki sauce. I used to eat lamb gyros all the time with tzatziki sauce. Love, love, love. Especially if you can get the good quality lamb and not that cheap crap that most restaurants get. If you've ever gotten like a lamb gyro that costs less than $10, chances are you got the cheap, nasty quality lamb, and yeah, it's not the same. If you ever had gyros and you just thought to yourself, oh man, these are nasty, and it was a cheap gyro, that's why. The cheap, nasty, processed, sliced, God only knows what's in that lamb stuff that they put into those nasty gyros. Don't consider those to be like what gyros actually are. That's like going to saying you don't like sushi because the only sushi you ever had was at a gas station. Don't do that. do not cheapen the experience like that. Because properly made sushi is one of the best things in the world. Properly made lamb gyros are fantastic, especially properly made tzatziki sauce. Oh my gosh. It is so good. Of course, granted, everyone's tastes are different, but oh my gosh, I love lamb gyros with tzatziki. Roasted Greek garlic, lemon, and potatoes with rosemary and oregano. That's what I'm talking about. For your infused water, you do lemon and orange, sometimes both, and some berries. Oh yeah, citrus water is fantastic. Tried lemon and watermelon with a bit of mint. Oh. I don't think I've ever had lemon and watermelon. Although I imagine with mint, that would be really good. Yeah, that's another thing you can do with infused water is you can infuse it with herbs. Now, I haven't done a whole lot of herb infused water, although I've heard of sage water, I've heard of rosemary water, I have heard of mint water. I want to say that I have had strawberry mint water. That sounds familiar. And the combination sounds fantastic. Gosh, strawberry and mint water. Oh my gosh, that sounds delicious. Especially cold. Not to mention that would be super healthy for you because mint has a lot of properties, healthy properties to it. And of course, strawberries. You know, strawberries are always delicious. Tea is an herb, really. Yeah, exactly. Your typical tea leaves would be. Is that considered an herb? I mean, I guess it is technically an herb, but I thought tea was its own classification. I don't know. I'll be honest. I that was more of a supposition than actual knowledge. Only tried mint for herbs. Maybe next year I'll try something else. I'm trying to think of the different herbal teas that I've had. I mean, obviously, any tea, you know, anything that's typically used for tea goes really well in water, in fruit water, because fruit and tea generally goes together very well. Oh gosh, I'm missing some of those. I hope it's hitting this. It is. Oh, good. But yeah, I mean, tea and fruit often go together very well. It pairs well together. Usually I have to have lemon in it or it's just not the same. Yeah. I mean, you know, again, lemon in tea is delicious. I have heard of sage. Like I said, I've never tried sage herbal water, but sage and lemon I've heard is really good. It sounds like it would be good. What is it? No, not rosemary. It's what is the shoot? What is the one I'm thinking of? I want to say, gosh, what was it? I want to say it's thyme and I cannot remember. Although I imagine thyme and lemon is really good. Or like maybe a thyme and orange. But what is, gosh, what, is it thyme and lemon? It's thyme and, I'm trying to remember what I saw. I never tried it, but I saw it in a tea shop where they did fruit-infused waters. And you could see it. They actually, like, would make it in their little, in their special thing so you could see it. And, gosh, what was it? Thyme? I want to say it was thyme, strawberry, no, not strawberry. Thyme, lemon. I can't remember. Cucumber, I think. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, rose hips. Yeah, rose hips always make a really good tea. I've never had it in... I've had rose water, like water with rose petals. Actually, water with like flower. There are several flowers you can use for water. I've had several of those. They're awesome. Like jasmine. I've had jasmine water. I've had lavender water. I've had rose water. Oh my gosh. They're so refreshing. And it's such a great taste. Rosemary, lemon, and oregano. Oh, oregano. I never thought of oregano. Gosh, I wonder how that would taste. That's kind of amazing, though. Ooh. Spaghetti water. Ew. leftover pasta water. Yeah, I've tried. I've tried tasting the water that was left over from boiling pasta. Not my favorite thing. Can you not help those other miners to speed things along? I thought that's what I was doing. Are you talking about like on the ones they're using? Because no, because it just swipes through. You can't impact them. Those are specifically for them. They're special. They get their own special rocks. And that's kind of good, actually. Ooh, excuse me, got the hiccups. That's kind of good, actually, because it helps to it helps to pinpoint the kind of, or the ore that I'm allowed to get. I just realized I hit 25,000, and we'll go to 30,000. Lord knows we burn through a ton of crystal trying to make the swords and the jewelry and such. So it's not like it'll be wasted. In fact, I would be genuinely shocked if we ran out of gemstones before we ran out of ore. I don't think that's ever happened. Oh, nope, that's the goofy one. Actually, I guess maybe I can do that calculation in my head here. Because as I recall, it's 10 crystals per gemstone, because it's a 1 to 5 to turn the crystals into, what is it? Geodes or something like that? Turn the crystals into geodes, or is it turn geodes into crystals? I can never get it straight. But it's a 1 to 5 for that, and then it's a 1 to 2 to turn whether turn the geodes into, I don't remember if it's crystals or geodes. I'm just gonna call them geodes for the hell of it. But turn it's a 1 to 5 to turn crystals to geodes, and then a 1 to 2 to turn geodes into the gemstones. So I think that since it's a 10 to 1, if we do 30,000, that gets us 3,000 gemstones. And then I want to say it's 5 gemstones per... Is it 5 gemstones per piece of jewelry and or sword? So if we have 3,000 gemstones, divide that by 5. What does that give us? 800? Wait, what does that give us? 20, 40, 6, no, 600. Gives us 600. So 600 gemstones. Yeah, that wouldn't cover the amount of silver and gold jewelry, because just the silver jewelry alone is something like, I think we need something like 1,000 just to cover silver jewelry on a typical run. So actually sitting here and cranking away at these crystals, hell, we could probably take it all the way to 50,000, and we probably still wouldn't wouldn't have enough to cover everything. Oh, am I missing? I am missing. Hopefully I'm hitting another crystal when I'm missing. Well, something exploded over on that other crystal. So it does seem like the mining speed does seem to have maybe been fixed. Let's go ahead and go up another 5. Is it maybe just from holding it down? No, because that doesn't seem to be... Oh, I'm missing. Hello? For some reason, it's hitting the other one. There we go. Spaghetti all'assassina from Bari in Puglia, Italy. I'm gonna butcher those names. Thinking about making a risotto using spaghetti instead of rice and a good tomato sauce instead of broth. Well, then that wouldn't make it a risotto. I mean, I'm trying to remember what that is, but wouldn't that wouldn't be a risotto then? That would be what is that called? My brain is not wanting to work right now. I'll remember it later. My daughter could tell you because she makes it all the time. And I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called. But yeah, I guess that would be sort of a risotto style. Gosh, what is that called? It's gonna bug me until I remember it. I'm gonna remember it like later today when I'm thinking of something entirely different, or like, you know, a month from now it's gonna be like, oh, it's this! Yeah, that's right! Been meaning to go out and eat some risotto. Risotto's delicious. Properly done, a good risotto is fantastic. It's so hard to make properly though, because it really does require like very specialized techniques that just seem a little bit counterintuitive to your standard cooking. I was watching a I was watching, I like to watch a show called Good Eats on the Food Network. And it's by, I can't remember the guy's name. He's funny as hell though. He's like a blonde, short-haired blonde guy with glasses, and he's kind of a, he's a crack up because the guy is very experimental. Is it Adam? I don't remember his name. Going the wrong way here. I don't remember his name. But I watch Good Eats all the time on the Food Network. I just kind of bring it up on my Xfinity and watch the shows. I think I'm up to like season 9 or something. And I tell you what, if you're trying to learn how to cook, yeah, Alton, that's right. It's Alton Brown. That's what it was. Alton Brown. It wasn't Adam, it was Alton. Yeah, Alton Brown. Phenomenal chef. And the guy is amazing about trying to demystify a lot of the cooking out there and make it much more accessible to the typical person. And I mean, it's like the things that you think you need special equipment for, he shows you like alternative methods to be able to do them instead. He shows you how to be able to make all these different kinds of like the best way to make like very simple things all the way up to simple ways to make complex things. I mean, he really does a fantastic job of teaching you how to be able to make things, and he does it in a very entertaining way. So I like the show Good Eats. I'm kind of a fan of Alton Brown. In terms of, oh my goodness. In terms of like cooking shows, you know, to actually teach you how to cook, his is the one I prefer. Because he really goes through like every little aspect of like what food is. He goes into like chemical compositions, like why things react the way they do. And that it's I don't know. I really like his method of cooking. So maybe it's just me because I'm a very simple kind of guy, and he puts it in very simple ways. I don't think you have that channel here. You'll have to check. Do you have Xfinity? If you have Xfinity, then Good Eats is you can see the entire series for free. That's how I do it. He did food science in college. Yeah, that makes sense. He has always experimented with a variety of ways to be able to do basically what is traditionally done with very traditional cooking, and he's very food experimental, and he's really done a great job of being able to bring cuisine to the average Joe, so that, you know, I can still make it and not be going, how the hell did you do that? He breaks it down and really shows you like step by step. He's like, it's not as hard as it looks. This is what you do. Take this, do this, put this thing over here. Oh, you don't have this, this particular kind of utensil? No problem. You can do this and it'll do the same thing. And it's like, wow, really? I had no idea. Don't even know what Xfinity is. Have to check online to be able to find something somewhere. Xfinity is like, it's my cable. My cable company. They used to be called Comcast. Now they're called Xfinity. Oops, here we go. I tend to watch a lot of free shows and free movies on my Xfinity because it kind of comes with the package. Because, I mean, hey, if I can get good quality stuff and it's part of what I already pay for, why not? Oh, you're in Europe. That's why. Okay. And I don't, you know what? I don't know the European equivalent. I do know that Xfinity is worldwide. So there has to be a European equivalent. They probably just call it something else though. Because Xfinity is like one of those like super mega corporations that's all over the place and everywhere. So I'm sure they're in Europe and they just call it something else. Okay, is this the broken one? Yeah, it's the broken one. I'm gonna take a quick break here. I'm just gonna leave this like this because the game's gonna continue to tick free stuff away for me since my villagers are going here. I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick, heat up my coffee, and because the coffee has kicked in. So take a minute or so. Let me do coffee and bathroom, and I'll be right back. Here, tell you what, we'll turn around and we'll watch the others work. Be right back. All right. We keep you alive to serve this mine, so dig well and live. Or fall to the side and die. It makes no difference to me, your master and overlord. Nonsense. I am a kind and benevolent master. Tell you what, you guys can have a break every time the sun goes down, okay? You guys can take anytime that it gets dark, then you guys can take a rest. Okay? How's that sound? Is that okay? Okay. Oh yeah, I recognize I recognize the quote from Ben-Hur. If you have never seen the movie Ben-Hur, you're missing out. It is quite a good movie. I wouldn't say that it's like mandatory geek watching because it's not really a geeky kind of movie. Although I guess in a way it is, since it is, it does sort of take place in a historical setting, like historical Rome. But so I guess it could be considered a kind of a geeky movie, but I would not call it a geeky movie because it is very much for pretty much anyone. It has a lot of everything that everyone would like. It's considered one of the classic movies for a reason. It's exceptionally well made. It's exceptionally acted. The story is awesome. It really is. It's a terrific movie. Not watching that is like not watching Casablanca or The Sound of Music or what's another one? Another Fiddler on the Roof. There's some movies that you just should watch. They're so damn good that it doesn't matter if you like those kind of movies or not. It is just Oklahoma. Yeah, real good one. Even though you may not like that type of movie, the movies themselves are so good that they are 100% worth your time to just sit and watch. They're awesome. I just realized that I went past the 30,000 mark and wasn't paying attention. It's so easy to just zen, to just sort of reach that zen of mining. And so guys, just stop paying attention to the numbers and just keep banging away at these crystals. I know that there are like some people who when they watch my channel and they see that I'm kind of doing sort of a grindy bit, that they tend to like fast forward through those sections. I can only imagine like what they would do watching this particular series. Standout movies, yeah, exactly. Standout movies, I mean, there's a reason why they end up with like multiple awards and, get the Best Picture awards. I mean, they're phenomenal. Charlton Heston as Mark Antony in the 1970s movie of Shakespeare's Julius Caesar is exceptional. I don't know if I've seen that one. I'll have to look for it. Julius Caesar with Charlton Heston. I'll look for that. I don't think I've ever seen that. Now that you bring it up. But yeah, there are some shows that they stand the test of time. They're so damn good and they're so timeless. Because that even if they are like happening in a particular time period, you can still 100% relate to everything that's going on. It's not like you can look back and go, oh my gosh, talk about dated. I mean, obviously some of the references are going to be a little dated, but for the most part, the concepts and the emotions and the feelings and the plots that you sort of experience with these characters, there's a reason why they call them a timeless classic, because it really does. It really is. Marlon Brando did Mark Antony as well. I don't think I've ever actually seen Julius Caesar. I mean, I know of it, but I don't think I've ever seen like the either the theater version or the movie versions of Julius Caesar. Yeah, I don't think I ever have. I'm trying to think if I ever have, and I want to say no, I don't think I ever did. And am I deficient in my movie-going experience? I don't know. And it's Shakespeare's Julius Caesar from the 70s. I'll look it up. I am always on the lookout for good movies, good TV shows. I don't watch them a lot, but when I do, you know, I sit down and, you know, I sit down with Cherub and we'll watch. And I mean, she, you know, if it's a good movie, she gets into it too. Even though a lot of times, some of the words they say are sometimes beyond her, and she kind of looks at me like, what did they mean by that? And I'm like, oh, and I'll explain it to her. But for the most part, she understands it because her grasp of the English language is pretty good. But every once in a while, we'll come across a word and she'll be like, what do they mean? It's this. Oh, right. Okay. You know, and good movies are just good movies. They're just, there's no getting around it. Just recently, I started rewatching Family Ties. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it is a TV show from the 80s with Michael J. Fox and Meredith Baxter Birney and Simon Goss? Simon Goss? I don't remember. Justine Bateman, Tina something, but it was a show back in the 80s. It was hugely popular, mostly due to Michael J. Fox, because to this day I still consider Michael J. Fox one of the best actors to ever come out of the 80s. And it's an absolute travesty that he had to cut his acting career short and limit himself so much because of the disease that he got, and I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, Michael J. Fox, phenomenal. Every movie he's ever been in, he does just such a damn good good job in it. Even if the movie itself is only sort of like so-so, he comes in and makes it better. I happen to notice that like the first, I want to say 5 or 6 seasons of Family Ties was free on Xfinity, so I was like, "Ooh, hey, I'm gonna check it out, see if this is as good as I remember it to be." And admittedly, it's kind of funny because the show is kind of about like a lot of very liberal and 1960s kind of thinking, and trying to sort of say, you know, trying to capture that in the show. And ironically, it's Michael J. Fox that is actually playing the more conservative viewpoint. Parkinson's disease. Thank you. I could not remember what it was called. He actually plays the much more conservative role, and was kind of considered the bad guy. Not really bad guy, because that's the wrong word there, because it was part of the family, but the one that was wrong, and the parents were trying to teach him like the better way to be. And it's funny because I'm watching Michael J. Fox and I'm like, okay, because a lot of his stuff obviously was extremely, I mean, his character was designed to be very sexist and very antiquated in his notions in the early seasons. I don't remember how he was in the later seasons, but I'm watching the first season of it right now. And it's like, wow, yeah, they really were setting people up to think one thing, and he was basically kind of supposed to be the foil against which everybody played against. But it's funny because as time went on, people liked Michael J. Fox better than everybody else in the show, much like during Family Matters when Jaleel White basically absolutely obliterated everybody else in his portrayal of Steve Urkel. And he ended up taking over the show sort of inadvertently. And the show became about him. Well, same thing with Family Ties. Eventually, Family Ties became a show about, you know, Alex P. Keaton, not about Meredith Baxter Birney and was it Simon Goss? I can't remember his name. You would recognize him as soon as you saw him because he's like one of those actors that you're like, oh yeah, I know this guy. I know him. And I can't remember his name. But it was originally supposed to be about the parents teaching the kids, but as time went on and it became very clear and very obvious that people were not tuning into the show for the parents, they were tuning into the show for Michael J. Fox. And the whole thing started taking a much different turn. And I don't know. I think I'm watching the show and I'm remembering why it was so damn good. Because it was very funny. There were a lot of really good moments. There are a couple of eye-rolling moments, but that's mostly just because a lot of the jokes that they use back then were new, and today, you know, and today they would be considered like okay, these jokes are old. Well, but they weren't back in the 80s, so you kind of just go, oh yeah, hey, yeah, okay, I remember how funny that was back then. But yeah, I'm watching the show and I'm remembering why it was so damn good, because it really did capture the family dynamic so damn well. And Michael J. Fox was just freaking amazing. Even back, you know, and he was 18 years old at the time when he started that, when he did that role. He did it just so damn good. He and Christopher Lloyd did a con recently where they got to see each other. He looks rough, made me want to cry. Yeah, he's, I mean, the last time I saw Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd was on like I think it was like on the, and it was like on some sort of, shoot, what was it? It was basically the day where Back to the Future was supposed to have happened in the future. And so the two of them got together and they did like a little skit together. Christopher Lloyd was, poor guy. He's had a rough go. And Michael J. Fox was, I mean, he did a phenomenal job, but it was clear that age had kind of caught up with him. Parkinson's had caught up with him. And poor Christopher Lloyd, I mean, Christopher Lloyd, still a phenomenal actor. I tell you what, Christopher Lloyd, also another phenomenal actor, still went up there and killed it. But boy, yeah, talk about looking rough. He was looking rough. But I tell you what, the two of them got up there, they did their parody of Back to the Future, and I mean, they knocked it out of the park. Baby, I was rolling. I was rolling from how funny they were. I tell you, it doesn't matter if disease strikes them down or if old age catches up to them. You know, the great actors will always be great. I mean, there's just some that, you know, it doesn't matter how old they get, they still are phenomenal. You know, Bruce Willis, it doesn't matter how old that man gets, he is amazing at everything he does. Jack Nicholson, oh my God, that guy only got better the older he got. Sean Connery, phenomenal. Guy was phenomenal. I mean, I'm sorry. Sean Connery could step into the role of James Bond today and still do better than Daniel Craig ever could hope to. I'm not bad-mouthing Daniel Craig. I mean, he did an acceptable role, an acceptable James Bond, but although, you know, funny, I've actually recently kind of had a bit of an epiphany when it comes to the James Bond actors and the different movies. And it's kind of surprising. But, I mean, because once upon a time, back when Pierce Brosnan was what had just taken on the role of the role of James Bond, I was kind of a little biased against Pierce Brosnan being James Bond because, you know, my experience with Pierce Brosnan was as Remington Steele. And if you remember the TV show Remington Steele, congratulations, you're old. Welcome to the family of old people. But Remington Steele was a hilarious show. And he did a really good job with that, but I just could never really imagine Pierce Brosnan playing 007. And I've recently kind of revised that thinking because I kind of just on a whim, I decided, what the hell, I'm going to go back and I want to watch all of the old James Bond, you know, movies and just sort of like go through and sort of revise my, you know, my viewing of them and just see how I felt about them. And, you know, I have had a change of heart because Pierce Brosnan actually made a really damn good 007. I was actually kind of surprised at my change of heart because I'm watching, you know, some of these old James Bond movies and I'm going, okay, here's the Pierce Brosnan ones. Well, brace myself. I'm gonna have to, you know, I want to watch it and, you know, and I'm sure I'm probably gonna groan my way through it. No, I was actually kind of surprised at just how much I enjoyed the Pierce Brosnan portrayal of 007. And not just that, but the movies themselves kind of felt like they were the best of the genre. I mean, I actually kind of was finding myself going, you know, of all the 007 movies, I kind of like these Pierce Brosnan ones the best. And maybe it's a nostalgia thing. It could just be nostalgia, but I don't think so. Because I was kind of viewing the 007 movies through new eyes, and it really was kind of it's just genuinely good. And I kept thinking to myself, you know, Pierce Brosnan actually kind of nailed this role. And I was surprised at my attitude because I was so biased as a teenager against Pierce Brosnan, and I kept thinking, oh no, he's the worst. I don't like him. But it's because I always had Sean Connery and Roger Moore in my head as James Bond. And so when he came into the role, I was just like, oh, he's never going to be as good as Roger Moore. He's never going to be as good as Sean Connery. You know, it's and I think that was a little unfair comparing the two because definitely Roger Moore did a good job as in the character of 007. And of course, Sean Connery, I mean, holy cow, Sean Connery was phenomenal in everything he did. But I was surprised at, like, when it came to 007, I'm kind of going, wait a minute. Do do I actually like Pierce Brosnan better than Sean Connery and Roger Moore as 007? And I think maybe, yeah. And that's a little sacrilege, to be honest. Because, I mean, Roger Moore and 007, Roger Moore and Sean Connery as 007 were iconic. Sean Connery is 007 in the eyes of many. I mean, it was in my eyes for the longest time. But I may have changed my thinking on that, because now that I gave Pierce Brosnan an honest appraisal and wasn't going into it with this, all right, I'm gonna hate him, because I'm gonna hate him. He actually did a damn good job as 007. I am surprised to hear myself say it out loud, but yeah, he kind of nailed it, to be honest. Roger Moore in The Saint. The Saint was pretty good. I had a little trouble getting through The Saint. Again, because this was back as a teenager. I haven't seen it nowadays. But when I was, I guess, again, I had sort of 007 in mind. And of course, The Saint is not 007. It's an entirely different role. And so I think, once again, I kind of, in my teenage naivete, sort of gave Roger Moore a bit of a bad rap in The Saint. I don't know. I think I would need to re-watch The Saint again and see if my opinion of his portrayal of the Saint is revised. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of going back and re-watching a lot of the old movies that once upon a time I used to consider just phenomenal. And now some of these I kind of cringe and go, oh my God, I thought these were good. But, in my teenage mind, of course it was. It was new, and it was exciting, and it was, a product of its time. And a lot of the stuff I'm watching and going, oh my God, I can't believe I used to think this was good. And now I watch them and go, oh God, this is cringeworthy. But at the same time, I'm also going back and rewatching a lot of the stuff that I used to consider really good. And it's better than I thought. And more clever than I thought. And deeper than I thought. And it's I'm just discovering a lot of aspects of those old movies, and especially compared to modern movies. And I'm just kind of going, wow, holy cow, this was a lot better than I thought. I enjoyed it because of this aspect, that aspect, the other aspect. But a lot of these I'm going, holy cow, this was so much better than I originally thought it was. The Prisoner with Patrick McGoohan was one of my favorite shows. I don't think I ever watched The Prisoner. That doesn't sound familiar. I don't think I ever watched it. I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever watched it off my head. But a lot of, I've been going back and kind of rewatching a lot of the shows that I enjoyed as a teenager and in my 20s. And I kind of watch a lot of them now, and some of them are a little cringeworthy, but most of them are fairly quality, fairly decent. Some of them are pretty cringe. Some of them I'm going, God, I had to have been a teenager to have liked this. And some of them are sort of guilty pleasure kind of movies where they're really not good, and yet you can't help but enjoy them. And because it doesn't matter if they were good or bad, they were fun. And a lot of what I considered to be good back then isn't that they were necessarily good movies, but that they were fun to watch movies. Yeah, I know, I've gone past 50,000. I'm in the zen, you know. I'm in the zen. But yeah, it's just I'm having to sort of revise. I'm having to do a lot of like revising of what it was a good movie versus a fun to watch movie. Because a lot of the movies that I've seen in the past weren't good, but they were fun to watch, even though I'm kind of going, okay, this is kind of dumb, but you know, at least the action's good and the comedy is pretty decent. But man, this is bad. And a lot of the shows that I watched as a teenager, I'm beginning to realize that the reason why I thought they were good was more because I had a crush on the actress. Again, teenage hormones often, you know, rule our nostalgia brains. Because a lot of the stuff that I look at now, and I used to think, oh, this is the best ever. Now I'm looking at it and kind of going, yeah, I was a horny teenager. Because this is not good. Actually, like, perfect example is, oh gosh, oh, now my brain's not gonna let me work, is it? It's just not gonna. It's gonna drop it out of my head just like it always does. I love my memory. I can't remember. Oh, Barbed Wire. There was an action movie back in the day. It was called Barbed Wire. It starred what's her name? I don't remember. And anyway, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, then it's okay, but it's not amazing. The action, it's a halfway decent action show that was Barbed Wire was a character from the comic strips. And it was halfway decent, but I remember liking it a lot more, mostly because of, just because Barbed Wire, the actress who played it, which, God, why can I not remember her name? She was the super hot blonde that everybody absolutely loved. And the reason why I liked the show so much was because I was focused much more on the actress so than I was on the show. It was halfway decent, though. Tank Girl. I actually watched Tank Girl again as an adult. And I actually find I have more of an appreciation for the movie now. It's definitely comic book schlock. But I actually kind of found that I appreciated the performance of Lori Petty as Tank Girl a lot more as I was older. And Pamela Anderson, thank you. Yes, Pamela Anderson was Barbed Wire. Thank you. I could not remember. I was like, what's her name? Shoot. I kept thinking like Lonnie Anderson, but it's like, no, Lonnie Anderson is from WKRP. Pamela Anderson, yes. But I actually was appreciating the job that Lori Petty? I think it's Lori Petty. The actress who did Tank Girl. I actually was kind of watching because when I was younger, I was like, oh, I don't really like this character. She's okay. It's a fun movie, so that's why I like it. I'm actually discovering that I like her performance a lot more now that I'm older than I did back as a kid. And I appreciate like the depth in which she really researched that character. Because now that I've kind of had a chance to check out the comic in which it was based on, she actually did a pretty damn good job of imitating the character. And the movie was, I mean, it was definitely comic book schlock, but it was surprisingly good. And I still maintain to this day that Jet Girl and the actress who played Jet Girl, and I can't remember the name of that actress either, still has one of the sexiest moments in movie history. And that moment is it's very brief. And it's basically like there's this guy this bad guy who treats her like crap throughout the whole movie. And basically she ends up getting her revenge on him by basically shooting him. But she shoots him, and at the end of it, they kind of focus the camera on her, and she kind of does this, I told you, I don't want to. And I don't do it justice. I don't. But to this day, I watch that and go, oh my God, this is a sexy as hell moment. Don't know why. Can't. I mean, it's that moment of, damn, you go, girl. Like, are you available later? You want to get some dinner? Damn. It's just one of those perfect moments that a movie managed to absolutely encapsulate in that tiny moment. And just like, whoa. Just, that for me, it's one of the sexiest movies moments I've ever seen in a movie. And it's just, phenomenal. Jane Fonda in Barbarella. Not a Jane Fonda fan. Actually, I despise the woman on pretty much every level. So, not a Jane Fonda fan. I have seen Barbarella. She did a pretty decent job as Barbarella. She looked good as Barbarella. But honestly, I despise Jane Fonda in pretty much every possible way a person can despise them. And nah. There's a special place in hell where that woman's gonna go. So not a fan. And I'm not gonna go into it, but no, not a fan. But yeah, I that's kind of something I've been kind of going back and watching a lot of the old stuff that I grew up as a kid, and just trying to see just trying to see if I still liked what I used to like. And in a lot of cases, no. A lot of cases I'm kind of going, wow, yeah, I was definitely a teenager when I watched this. But in a lot of cases, and I'm also watching a lot of movies that I missed as a teenager, because there were a lot of movies that I wasn't able to watch when I was younger, because, I didn't have the money to go watch the movie, or You know, it didn't show up on TV or whatever. Just never had the opportunity. Or back when I was a teenager, I thought, oh, this is going to be dumb, and I just never watched it. And now I'm kind of going back and I'm watching a lot of those shows that either I missed the first time, or is this the broken one? Yeah, it's the broken one. That either I missed or I was unable to see them, or I kind of unfairly judged them from the commercials. But a lot of people said were really good, so I've been kind of going back and watching a lot of those older ones, and from the 80s, and a lot of them just turned out to be really, really good. Much better than I gave them credit for. For example, perfect example, St. Elmo's Fire. I watched, when I was a kid, I watched it and thought, oh, this is going to be a dumb, I never watched it as I was, when it first came out, because I thought, oh, this is going to be dumb. This is, I'm not going to enjoy this. I don't want to watch this. So I never went and watched it. And I recently watched it, and wow, did I miss out? What an amazing, an amazing movie. Once again, I am thoroughly impressed with John Hughes. It's kind of impressive at just how well thought out John Hughes made his movies, and how really in depth some of those characters were. I picked up on a lot of things that as a youngster I'm positive I would have missed, but now as a older, wiser, more more sophisticated movie watcher, I'm picking up and appreciating a lot more. Because I mean, and of course, a lot of the John Hughes movies were just so damn good. I mean, and I'm sure you guys have probably heard of most of these: Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, St. Elmo's Fire, 16 Candles. Although I thought 16 Candles was kind of like meh. It was okay. But Pretty in Pink turned out to be pretty good. And I mean, everybody knows that Breakfast Club was just the best damn John Hughes movie ever. And a lot of movies that I didn't realize were John Hughes films. Like Weird Science. I did not know that Weird Science was made by John Hughes. And I recently saw it. I think I haven't rewatched it. But I think I'm gonna have to rewatch Weird Science. Because I remember as a kid, you know what? We have 60,000. I think it's time to head back here. As a teenager, I remember watching Weird Science mostly because I just thought the movie was funny. It was silly. It had a lot of the humor that I really liked back then. So I suspect that I liked a lot of what I liked about it is probably going to be lost on me if I rewatch it. So that's one of the reasons why I really haven't gone to rewatch it yet. Oh damn, I got a lot. So I've been a little hesitant. Let's see, this was 2 per, yeah. So 1120, yeah, like that. Oh, holy cow, it uses up a lot of. I'm gonna have to get that. Let's see, 5,000. No. No. What am I doing wrong here? 1, 2, 0, 0, or 0, like that. There we go. I'm gonna have to go down and make some more coal. Let's say 1, 1, 0. No. 5. It's just. Oh, I don't have enough. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go down and make some more coal. I hear my puppy dog outside. Go ahead and turn all that into coal. Looks like I'm gonna have to go out and get some more coal here pretty soon. Go back to... No, I did the steel. It was the gold, right. What is half of 1135? That would be 516? No. That's too much. There we go. That's what it was. I could not wrap my head around that for some reason. Okay, so go down here. Let's convert all of this crystal. Boom. Convert all... Oh, that's right. It's crystal into... Yeah, crystal into geodes. No. Geodes into crystal. Crystal into gemstones. So that's 6,000. Looks like we want to go here. All right. So first of all, the swords. Let's see. One of these is 5,000. What if I just... Oh, hey, Lion, you need to make the sword. Here's a crazy thought. Maybe you need to make the swords. 112. All right. Go back here. 112. There we go. Bam. And then we need to... Let's see. We have to make the jewelry first. So 565. Oh, okay. What's that? 2, 8, 2? Yeah, there we go. And then the gold, 282. There we go. And then the silver. Oh, wow, am I actually going to end up with more? Since when do I end up with more gemstones than... There we go. I think I'm going to end up with more. Yeah, I am. Oh my gosh. Since when does that happen? Almost never. Oh, okay, never mind. It's not going to... Yeah, it's not... So I am going to end up with more. All right, 500. How about 800? Yeah, let's do 800. There we go. And then... That's good enough. All right, so that knocked out a bunch. So now we have 907. Oh, that's jewelry. No, I want craft. There we go. Oh, wait a minute. Do I have... Oh. Lion. Yeah, goof. Oh, it's because I ran out of gemstones, right? Okay. So... Not a bad haul here. We're going to make a ton of money off of this. So it did turn out that I did need more gemstones. For a minute there, I was like, oh my gosh, am I actually going to end up with more gemstones than anything? Since when does that happen? But no. No such luck. Now, I do believe I maxed out my sales ability here. So, let's go silver, let's go gold, and let's go steel. There we go. And there, 282, and 112. Very good. Sell that, sell that. And with a 80% chance per minute of being sold, that's the maximum price factor that you can get currently. All right. We'll let that go ahead and sell. Maybe I should, you know what? Maybe I should get wood for a while. I do need wood. All right. We'll run through here, gather up some wood for a while. Replenish the stocks. Well, something sold. Two something sold. Looks like the third one did not. Okay. I wonder how much we're gonna get. I wonder how much we're gonna get for all that stuff we just put up for sale. Probably a couple million, I'm sure. Looks like we got some over there. We'll kind of come over here and grab these two and then head that way. I'm really hoping that the update for the castle and the other new stuff in the game is going to be sometime soon. They didn't really give a date when I read it. They said it's coming up, but they didn't want to give a date yet. So I suspect that that the developers themselves don't really know when they're going to be ready to be able to do an update for the game. But I hope it's not too long. This is a pretty cool game, and even though it's it hasn't gotten too heavily in depth yet, I'm kind of hoping that they end up adding more quests for us to be able to go on. Sort of more of a I don't know, just more of a path to walk. Of course, being able to just have just a regular, relaxing run around and gather stuff is nice. I do like the gameplay loop for its simplicity. But I do think this game would benefit quite a bit from just having a little bit more in the way of quests, a little bit more in the way of direction, and not just sort of teaching you what to do and then wind you up and let you go. I guess I would just sort of... I think that would definitely be a nice addition. That's actually one of the main reasons why I kind of felt like Animalica came up short than my expectations, because there was a huge amount of unexplained scenes in the game And it could have benefited a huge amount from lore and from more like meaningful quests rather than just, I don't know, just sort of like simplistic achievements to unlock. It just felt like it could have been more than it was. And it would have been, I think this game could be a lot more than it currently is. And it is still in early access, so like I said, I might be, it's a little harsh to be judging right now. But I do hope that these guys sort of learn the lesson that Animalica didn't, in that they've got the basis of a sleeper hit here. And I think all they really need to do to make it into a full-on, like, I don't know, popular game rather than the little niche that it's in right now, is I think all they really need to do is just add in some quests, give us a little bit more direction, maybe adds a bit more interactivity with the NPCs rather than just as paper doll, rather than just sort of paper target things for us to be able to sell stuff at. It would be nice to be able to add just a little bit more to the characters, like maybe I don't know, just like maybe there's a wandering a wandering person who's going through and through the area, and maybe he's curious about the relics, you know, in the area, curious about the you know, all the ruins that are around here and what he might be able to find in them, and that could open up a whole series of things for us to be able to do, so that it's more than just the zen of mining. I think having a comprehensive storyline, much like what Power Wash Simulator did, where the storyline wasn't the main focus, but it added a nice little dimension to the zen of Power Wash. And I could see that this game definitely benefiting from something like that. Sort of just having an overarching storyline, an overarching plot line for we, the players, to sort of just get our teeth into, so that we can focus on like the core gameplay, but at the same time sort of have a goal to work towards. I think that would be a nice little addition to the game. Obviously, we need to put the progression further on, so that, because I did kind of come to the end of the current progression fairly quickly, mostly because I just didn't have anything else to focus on, and so you're able to get through the progression just by the zen of happy mining. How much wood do I have here? 300. Got a bunch of planks that I'm not using. Let's do some more. Let's just make sure we've got plenty of coal. so that we can continue with our gold and silver and gemstone creations. Whoop. Excuse me. Boing. Yeah, it's probably good enough. All right. Yeah, I still have plenty of potions and such. Back to the mines. Let's get back to the dwarf mentality. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. It's off to the crystal mines we go. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. It's to the crystal mines we go. Hi ho, hi ho. Only 1 million for the swords and stuff. Did we hear the third one cook off? I was waiting for the third one to cook off. Maybe I just missed it. Maybe I just missed it. I guess we can. I was waiting for the third one to kick off, and then I was going to go check, but maybe it didn't. I just missed it. All right, let's see what we've got here. Nearly 10 million. And yeah, all 3 of them sold. All right, not bad. Not bad at all. Let me just come over here and make sure that I have, in fact, maxed this out. Hello, Mr. Toof. Yeah, we have done as much as we can. I could add more market slots, but honestly, I don't know why I would. I mean, I guess if I wanted to, I could add one for like the silver jewelry that I'm that's still being sold. But I just at the moment, I just don't really see a reason why. We're holding out for 25 million here. We're almost halfway there. And then we will have the magic hammer. And as far as I know, we've pretty much maxed out the town as it currently stands. I don't believe I have anything else in the game to really... I mean, unless I just feel like grinding for the sake of grinding, which I imagine sometimes I may just do that just because it's like I said, it's a nice little zen experience to just be able to come in here and just mindlessly pound away at the at the mines. It's just a nice little comfortable game. I guess I could take a bunch of the... Oh, you know what I could do? I'm going to pop back here again. Because I think what I might do... I think I will add one more slot. And I think I'll put up a slot for the stone statues And well, actually, no, not wood. Because it would be silly. It would be silly doing boxes because I turn almost all of these boxes into all of this wood into coal. But I suppose I could turn the wood planks into boxes. Since I don't currently have anything really to add to build, I suppose if we can always embrace that when it comes to it. But I suppose I could come over here, go over here to stone statue, and come over here to wood box. Do I have the ability to create crystal powder? I don't think I do. Because I have not seen any way to make crystal powder or to get a hold of those dragon scales. Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, they did add some one additional thing to the game. Let me take care of this real quick. Because they did add something to the game that oh, crystal powder. I wonder what it's for. I haven't found anything that requires crystal powder. But that just requires us turning all that stuff over here. Turning all this into powder. But why would you want to do that? I don't know. But I think I'm just going to take all these existing ones and make up a bunch of that right there. And then I'm going to take all of my existing planks. I'm going to keep my keep turning normal wood into charcoal. But I may as well go ahead and just turn everything that I have in existence that I was sort of saving for building more town. And I may as well go ahead and just set... Oh, no, that's right. I'm turning all of my... I was going to say, maybe I can do the same thing for iron tools, but no, I'm turning all of my iron into steel. So never mind on that. All right, so over here, 54330. Sell that. 8685. Sell that. That should make us a pretty penny there as well. Ooh, snap, crackle, and pop. Ooh. We'll go ahead and let that run. Since I'm not really doing anything else with the stone... I mean, with the wood, obviously, we're turning that into coal, which I think I'll go ahead and turn all that into coal right now. Since we're waiting for the stuff to sell anyway. But we want to... Since I'm having my people get all this stone anyway, I may as well... turn all that stone into stone statues, so at least I can continue making money off of the stone. I mean, I really don't have any other use for it right now. All right, 716,000, and that was for the boxes. So it looks like the statues didn't sell this time. But 764,000 for the boxes. Ain't too shabby. We'll just sort of hang out and see if we'll see if the statues sell real quick. But yeah, I mean, the town is generating it anyway, so we may as well get some use out of that stone. There we go. And all those stone statues, and we made less than 500,000. So, I mean, yeah, it's not like we're going to be adding a ton to our profitability, but, you know, every little bit helps. It doesn't hurt. Ooh, my nose. Why is my nose so itchy? Yeah, so we already have another 2,000 stone. It's like, you know, we're using that. It's all being done anyway, so may as well just let these guys do some work for us, and we'll just turn their efforts into at least a little bit of profitability. And in the meantime, I'll keep banging away at the crystal. All right. How much would the crystal powder sell for? I don't know. I don't know. I think that the crystal powder is more of like a magic spell property, because the reason they originally were going to add mana to the game because spells were going to be a part of the game. I don't know if they're still going to have spells be a part of the game because they took away the mana. I don't know if they're just planning to add it in later, like as we have to discover it or something. So I'm not really sure how they're going to add in spells, but my guess is that crystal powder is going to be something for the mage in the mage tower. Because we do know that the mage... I mean, right now, the mage in the mage tower doesn't do anything. He's not even there. And we do have another storefront that is not currently talking to us because, again, he hasn't been entered into the game yet. He's just sort of a filler spot. It's early access. So, my guess is the crystal powder will probably go towards something with the incantations and such, or whatever magical properties the mage tower is eventually going to need. I imagine probably at some point these mushrooms will probably also be a part of that. Because they are here, and the mushrooms used to be harvestable, according to the forums, but that got removed. And I don't really know if the developers are removing these things because they decided they don't want to put them in the game. I hope not. I hope they do intend to keep putting them these aspects into the game. Or if it's just a matter of, well, they can't use them right now. Why, you know, let's not have people waste their money and their effort trying to build up, you know, a stockpile of something they're not going to use. So maybe that's the case. I'm not for sure. But I guess we can see, like, maybe we can just go ahead and just take the crystal we have right now. Let's go and turn it into powder. And let's see what... and just see... We'll make, like, 1 gemstone and 1 powder. Hello, puppies. I guess I could grab a buff, but... Let's do that. let's make 1 gemstone and 1 powder, and let's see what happens here. Okay, let's make 1 gemstone. Oh, shoot, I have 22. Okay, tell you what. Let's do it. Let's do 25 gemstones. How much does one of these require? Okay, same amount. So, and 25 of the crystal powder. We'll put them both up for sale. We'll hang out. We'll see what each one goes for. You know what else I'm going to do? I mean, we may as well, for science. If we're going to do this, let's do it right. Let's go gemstone. Let's do one jewelry. I need to make some more. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, 1, 5. That works. And then do 2 steel. How much steel do I need for the sword? I don't remember how much. I need 10. Okay. So I think what I'll do is I'll make 1 of each of the gemstone sword, jewelry, and we'll just sort of get an idea of how much exactly. Oh, I'm turned around. Here we go. There we go. Let's see, what is it? 10 per? So let's go 3, 3, 0. There we go. All right. Should be able to make 1 of each now. All right, so steel sword. Let's just make 1. Let's see, and I did do the gold jewelry, so we'll just go 1. And okay, we made 1 of those. Oh, did I not? Oh, I guess I didn't. There we go. 1. And then 1. All right. We're going to go through and let's find out exactly how much each of these things is worth. All right. So let's come over here. I'm going to go ahead and turn this stone statue into crystal powder, and we'll turn this wooden box into just a standard gemstone. All right, so let's start with 1 here. We'll give this, we're going to go maybe about 10 seconds between each one, just in case there is a, we need to have a gap in trying to figure out prices and such. 2, 1, sell. Three, 2, 1, sell. 4, 3, 2, 1, sell. All right. So we're going to give each one of these a chance to do their thing. As soon as one pops up, we'll check its value, and we'll go from there. Heck, I might as well just keep it up there like this, so I can see. Yep, that did sell. So, okay, so each silver jewelry, 8,360 roughly. All right, each gold gemstone jewelry, 9,240 roughly. All right, gemstone sword, 13,200 roughly. Didn't sell. All right, so that 660 roughly. All right. So for sure, because it really, I mean, for the amount of iron that we get, and the relative value of iron to turn into steel, we essentially get all that for free. We don't have to spend anything to get it. All it takes is time, just effort. Bang, 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 bang it away. So essentially, we're making roughly about 13,200 per sword, per gemstone sword. There we go, crystal powder. 326. So actually, it is worth less than a typical gemstone, and it does seem like that's not quite worth it. So, but it's good to know. I kind of suspected as much, just because it doesn't seem to have a utility right now. But my guess is crystal powder is going to end up being useful for spells. Oh, what am I doing? That's not the one I wanted to do. I don't want to go to here. I want to go to here. But at least now we know. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. And it only cost us about maybe a couple of minutes to find out. I suppose, I mean, I could sit down and work out the exact math of, like, how long, you know, how much crystal I get, how much iron I get, how much how much I can gather with my hammer here. And I could figure out the exact profitability, but this game is far too laid back for that. And I don't really see a need to. It doesn't look, you know, I'm gonna try to improve the mining speed again. Because, yeah, it does look like it's not. Here, let's go ahead and just hold it down. Yeah, so it looks like the mining speed is less about, like, how fast you click. But I am glad that they fixed that. So that I can still spam click this and it's not it is actually completing. It's completing the motion. And it actually does seem like it's even moving a little bit faster. Even when I'm spam clicking, that it seems like the hammer movement itself, the animation itself has sped up. So it is still impacting before I finish. So that's kind of nice to know. Well, if that's the case, You know what? I'm going to throw caution to the wind. We're going to max it out. Let's hope that I do not live to regret this. Okay. Did you see how it did interrupt? There was that one where it interrupted itself. But it does look like they have fixed that issue. So if I hold it down... Okay, so holding down the button, it does seem like it's sped up a little bit. And I do need to be a little bit... Yeah, see how sometimes it's missing? But I do know how to be able to mitigate that, so that it's not interrupting its own whatever I mean, its animation. But it does seem like it is faster. But it does take a little bit of practice of knowing exactly how fast I can spam click this before the animation kind of interrupts itself. So that is something the developers will have to pay attention to. I'll send a note to them telling them so that they can maybe work on that. And of course, we already know about collision and that collision and the hitboxes of these. Well, pretty much everything, really. But it does look like they've at least improved it somewhat since the first time I played. So that part at least is nice. All right. Yeah, because when I played this the first time before they did the update, I maxed out my mining because what I did is I played some of this before I played it for you guys, just to sort of test out the game, make sure everything kind of ran smoothly. And I ended up playing it for a lot longer than I had intended to. I had maxed out the mining speed in the game.
Coffee break! It's about time.
And that's the last of the coffee. Thank you for the coffee break. I had maxed out the speed with the first sort of experimental playthrough. And yeah, I was missing. I mean, the animation interrupted itself so badly, so very badly, and to the point where like I said, you kind of noticed I was keeping my mining speed down really low because I was afraid of getting that same bug. And it does look like they've improved it drastically. I'm not seeing nearly as many interrupts as I did the first time. And there has been an update since, doing a lot of patches, a lot of bug fixes. And so that's really good. I'm kind of glad that that has been, for the most part, hammered out. See what I did there? So that's nice. I'm glad that they have kind of worked that part out. You know what else I should probably do? I should maybe continue to add more to my stamina. What's my max? Okay, I have no max to stamina. And I think maybe I don't think I want to add some more to my strength. Tell you what, let's go down to 10. Yeah, let's do that. Let's stop there. Have 10 million. Add some more to my strength. Oh, that was another thing I wanted to do. Apparently, the golems in the game have been changed as well. Apparently now you get a lot more stone when you destroy a golem. And it's nice to see that they made a change to that, because I did tell them, like, right now, there's no point to it. That it's silly to go through the effort and risk of trying to kill a golem when you can actually do better just by getting, like, one of these purple ones. And let's go ahead and do a comparison here. We got 25,000 hit points here. And 12,000. All right, looks like roughly about a little over 14,000 for one of those. I'm gonna have to pay attention to this because obviously I'm gonna be gaining stone because of my workers here. But go in here. He's got 20,000. Tell you what, I'm just gonna come here and I'm just gonna keep banging on him. Okay. So, wow, I hate my memory. It just went right out of my head. Oh my God, I hate my memory! Okay, so that's 14,000. That looks like it was 21,000. Let me go kill another one to verify that. But that looks like that might have been 21,000. So 62,000. That was 62. Yeah, it's roughly about 21,000 to kill a golem now. Okay. I'm glad that they changed that, because that kind of makes it more worthwhile to go after a golem now. So it's nice that they made that change, because it does look like for the longest time, it's like you got less stone for destroying one of those purple stone, or you got more stone destroying a purple stone, and it was less risk and just as fast. So I'm glad they made that adjustment, because that now the amount of stone you get is commensurate to the risk you take. So that's a good change. I'm still not certain if it's worth going after the golems per se, just because they're fairly easy to, well, at my level they're fairly easy to kill. Early on, obviously, they're not going to be that easy to kill. Early on, they actually pose a significant threat. When, you know, if it's taken you, you know, like, I can't remember off my head. Actually, I can probably look at, let's see. I can probably look at it right here. So, what was it? Is it? No, which one was it? I had a list of all of my tools. Where were those tools? I don't remember. I don't remember where, because we had a list of all of our tools and I can't remember what it was. No, not, oops. Input. Let's see. Jump, crouch, sprint, quick hammer, skill menu. Oh, it was at the house. That's what it was. But I mean, I think the first hammer you get hits for something like 100 or something like that, or 50, or just some really small thing. So we're obviously dealing a great deal more damage to those golems than what we used to. And also our skills are much more impressive, because now, I mean, you know, we're doing something like 15,000 for every Meteo Claw, another 10,000 for a Scale Spikes. So, I mean, just being able to go bam and do 10,000, do one of those for 15,000. Obviously, we're going to be dropping that golem a hell of a lot faster. I mean, as it is, the golem really doesn't pose any threat to us at all, because we kill it so fast. It still does the same amount of damage, obviously, because at the moment, I really don't see a need whatsoever to improve health at all. There just isn't any risk in the game unless you just choose to have the risk in your game. And like I said, I don't see that as a detriment. I just don't. I don't see how that would be a bad thing. This is intended to be a relaxed game. It's intended to be a very just kick back Zen experience where you can just sort of pound away, gather up, stuff, and make a profit and just zone out to the experience and not have to worry, not have to stress like, oh my gosh, am I optimizing, my output? Am I, do I need to worry about my health? Am I going to die? Am I going to do this? Oh no, I need to eat. Oh no, it's getting dark. Oh my gosh, why is my nose hurting? You don't need to worry about any of that in this game. And I appreciate that. It's nice that it's giving me an experience unlike pretty much any other town building or crafting type game ever. When they say this is a relaxed atmosphere, they are not kidding. If I were to maybe want to add something to this, it would be nice if the building of the town were a little more modular. Instead of just, here's what we need, poof, and it's instantly made. It would be nice if that were slower. We could see it being built over a course of like a few hours or whatever. Instead of just poof, it's there. It would be nice if we could actually see stages of the building where we could just sort of sit back if we wanted to, and we could actually watch the construction taking place. And I'm not talking about like board by board, brick by brick. That's probably asking a bit too much, and that would probably start getting tedious after a while. But, being able to, come back after hacking around for, you know, 30 or 40 minutes in the mines. Oh, come on. Hello. You know, after about 30 or 40 minutes of gathering stone and gathering ore and gathering wood and all that, you come back to the town and you can see the progression has been made to that building. That would be very satisfying to me. I'd be like, hey, all right, it's coming along. And, you know, let it take a few hours to build. That's okay. I really wouldn't mind that because, you know, it would, and maybe even make it like real-time hours. Because obviously there's no time. I guess there's a timer, but there really is no like day-night cycle. There's no time progression in the game. So maybe just have it so whether you are doing it off, you know, maybe time can pass offline in terms of building, but maybe not necessarily in terms of resource construction, although that kind of inconsistency tends to bug players, so maybe not that. So I don't know, maybe not hours, maybe like we could watch it being built over the course of maybe 90 minutes. And that's enough time for people to be able to go take a couple of trips out, get themselves a bunch of minerals. You know, if you wanted to, you could sit here and bang away for a couple of hours and come back and it's done. Or you could do like it, because at the very beginning, you're kind of like crafting for you're mining for a little while, you're gathering wood, you're gathering stone, you're gathering iron or whatever, you're going back, you're crafting it, you're smelting it, doing what you need to do, and then putting it up for sale. You know, that there would be some back and forth to that. And so come on. Don't do this. All right, it's starting to... Come on, it's starting to miss. Stop. No, stop doing that. Okay, now it's missing again. Stop missing. Yeah, that is an aspect they really need to fix. But yeah, being, you know, so, you know, your typical early on experience, you'd be coming back every 15, 20 minutes or so, and you would see some more progression happening on that building, and you'd be like, all right, it's coming along. Maybe put like a little building timer on it, like you do with the marketplace. And we sort of watch the building being built, just sort of in stages. As I said before, I'm not, you know, we don't need to see it brick by brick, but maybe we can see the beginning construction in the first 10 minutes. And then in the next 10 minutes, we see, you know, the next level of progression. And then in the next 10 minutes, another progression. And then the next 10 minutes, another progression. And after whatever designated amount of time you wanted to put on the construction, you know, you get to see the completed product. And each one, you know, the more complex the structure, the longer it takes. Like maybe it only takes 10 minutes for a house to be built. In which case, maybe we would only see like, maybe we would only see like two levels of construction, where at the beginning you've got from first to 5 from the very beginning to 5 minutes, you've got first level construction. From 5 minutes to 10 minutes, you've got the second level of construction, and then at the 10-minute mark, it turns into the completed product. And then, like, as we get, as we start getting more complex with larger houses, more of the more complex structures, the town hall, takes like 1 million gold pieces. Maybe that could take 5 hours, and we see the updates of construction maybe once every half hour or once every hour. Just something like that. It would be... Oh, is it going to work? Sort of. It's well, it was working briefly. You know what? It's just it's too erratic. I don't want to I don't want to be here banging away at something and it's missing 3/4 of the time. So yeah, that would be a nice addition to the game, to actually see the progression of the construction of each building. I think not only is that realistic, but it's much more satisfying for the player to be able to come back and go, all right, it's cranking along. Not to mention that would also sort of artificially give your games not only depth, but also stretch out the gameplay a bit. Because your typical... Why is my nose so itchy today? Your typical gamer is kind of used to the whole Facebook, the Facebook game timer, where, if they put up, if like you're building the town hall, it's going to take 3 hours for the town hall to build, and they're kind of used to that aspect of gaming. And as long as it feels like while you're playing, it does feel like the game itself is progressing and it doesn't get too ridiculous, I think there's a part of that would be very appealing. You'd have to be a little bit careful of that, because obviously that could get really tedious. If you're if you're having to take, forever, it seems like, for, your town hall to build, or for a house to build or whatever, obviously then people are going to start getting a little resentful and start going, this game's too slow. But for it to take several minutes for it to build in a game like this, where you are occupying, you're not sitting back and going, okay, let's just wait for time to tick and I'll gain money this way, yawn. Where you're actively gathering and you don't have to stop. You can just continue to keep gathering as much as you want. And then every once in a while you come back and there's more progression on your on the buildings. I think I think that would go over well. You'd have to do some balancing. Obviously, you don't want to bore your players. And who knows, maybe like the early stuff, you only want it to, maybe it needs to take 5 minutes for it to build or whatever. Instead of, I don't know. I'm not a game designer. I don't really know the typical attention span of your typical gamer. I'm literally just throwing numbers out there as a reference. Maybe that many hours of gameplay would be too much, for a town hall. Maybe 5 hours is too long. Maybe it needs to be, you know, maybe just an hour, and your typical building takes 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. I just want to be able to see the progression of the building, and so that I have a sense of time in the game. Because right now there really is no sense of time other than respawn time of the nodes and the golems and such, which that really doesn't give you a sense of time. That gives you that gives you a sense of I don't even know what that gives you a sense of, because really, I mean, at no point has the timer been so important for me to pay attention to that I need to pay attention to it. You know, if I'm hammering away at a tree and I chop down 20 trees, you know, those trees respawn themselves in a matter of 20 or 30 seconds. You know, it's fast enough that I don't really need to sweat that. You know, there's always going to be trees for me to knock down. You know, same thing as with the crystal, or the ores or the stone or anything. There's always so much to be able to keep mining on that I don't really need to worry about time 20 seconds before this one respawns. Honestly, I don't even need to see that information. I don't need to know that in 20 seconds that's going to respawn. It's unnecessary information. It's sort of... It's min-maxing information in a game that really doesn't need to be min-maxed. Because if a game has no urgency, why do you need... Why would you need a timer? Because this is a game that has no urgency. You're not under any time constraints except for ones you put on yourself. And, you know, if you want to have 0 time constraint, you can do that. And you're out nothing. Yeah, it is about that time, isn't it? Tell you what, let me do this last crystal here. Yeah, I see. I think maybe they're still going to need to do some more balance on the mining speed, because there are still times where the animation is interrupting, and obviously we've already talked about collision and hitboxes. There still needs to be work done on the game, but honestly, this game is the bones of this game are fantastic. The gameplay loop is terrific, and the laid-back feeling of this, where I can enjoy the zen of mining. It really is great, and I am more than happy with this game, and how it progresses. Oh, and gosh, Baxter, I'm sorry. I completely forgot to get the buff for you. I guess I could have been doing that. I had entirely forgotten about that, Baxter. But that's okay. You're a good puppy dog. Yes, you are. Look at you being so cute. That's right. Run around. Have fun. Just don't go over by the fire. Don't hurt yourself, okay? But you go ahead and run around and do whatever you want to do. What a good boy. Yes, you are. You're a good boy.